Hello, everyone. We do want to give you guys another update on the education labor dispute. Let's get started. So, what has been going on since yesterday's live stream? Today is Thursday, November the 3rd, 2022. Oh, I think they have said that there will be.
We are on strike until further notice starting Friday unless a deal is reached.
We will not accept a strike this Friday or any day.
Bitter words behind a bitter labor dispute as the province and thousands of its educational workers stand their ground. Good evening. The rhetoric is ramping up, which is disappointing news for families hoping for some resolution to the fight between the Ford government and CUPE.
Lawmakers at Queen's Park are working to push through an historic bill to stop a looming strike, one which the union says is happening no matter what. CTV's Queen's Park reporter Siobhan Morris joins us now with our top story tonight. Siobhan.
This is what's happening.
Nathan, as far as CUPE's concerned, the only thing that would prevent a walkout on Friday is a negotiated deal. Without one, the
Yeah. Sadly, there is no plan.
union says its members will be off the job, and they aren't saying how long that could last. With the clock ticking closer to a walkout by CUPE educational support workers, one New Democrat after another was kicked out of the legislature. The opposition turning up the drama to take a stand against the government's move to impose a contract on 55,000 union members.
When will the Premier and his ministers stop lying about the damage they're doing to the education system?
That kind of accusation doesn't fly at Queen's Park.
The member will withdraw his unparliamentary comment.
I will not withdraw. I'm telling the truth. They're lying.
Mr. Tabbins, you are named. You must leave the chamber for the day.
16 NDP members were turfed, furious over a forced contract and the government's use of the notwithstanding clause to block any court challenge.
We have rights, we have constitutional rights, and this government is throwing them out because they're too weak to get back to the negotiating table and get a deal with this union.
Legislation that imposes a contract is expected to pass tomorrow. At the same time, negotiators from the government and CUPE remain at a downtown hotel.
We have made substantial moves across the board on all of our positions in order to try and achieve a deal.
A mediator has asked the parties not to spill what's in the union's latest wage proposal. The education minister says the government can work with CUPE with one caveat.
That the union will do the reasonable act of withdrawing the threat of a strike that will impact millions of kids after an incredible disruption that has affected their lives.
It's not something CUPE is willing to back off of.
Without anything changing, we are on strike until further notice starting Friday unless a deal is reached.
Leaving the door open to disruption beyond this week. There had been questions about whether other education unions might join CUPE members on picket lines Friday. OSSTF, the union that speaks for public high school teachers, says it's instructed its members to show up to work on Friday. Reporting live from Queen's Park, I'm Siobhan Morris. Nathan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Siobhan. Time is running out for a deal to end this dispute.
That's leaving parents across the GTA with little choice but to find childcare solutions for Friday and maybe longer. Our Janice Golding joins us with reaction from families closely watching this standoff. Janice.
Hi, Michelle. You're right. While support workers fight for, among other things, higher pay, many parents expressed anxiety to us today about pay of their own if they have to stay home from work on Friday to watch their kids. As Simon Manello dropped his kids off at West Hill Public School this morning, he reflected on what a school strike will mean for him and his family.
Stay on my
I
at
just
the
want to
house
say,
and
everybody, that
watch
we
my
are
kids,
not in
and that's
school
it. No
tomorrow.
work.
And from Manelo, as well
There
as
might
many
be
other
a
parents,
transit
no work
center
means
starting
no
in-
paycheck.
Our company now will not pay on us, and it's hard for like me and like low income family.
I can't be able to work. I can't do what I gotta do.
I guess yes, we will be. There will be no school for Friday, but we're saying that
The union
Monday
representing
there will be.
55,000 school support staff has threatened a strike day on Friday, even as the province threatens back to work legislation.
So I'm absolutely happy about Friday. We need to take a stand.
Sana, an early childhood educator and parent herself, says there's a reason support workers like her gave their union a 96.5% strike mandate last
However, I
month in the event a
decided-
deal could not be reached.
It's hard as a parent, but it needs to be done because we really need to step up.
And then after that,
We're really, really
I'm just
struggling
gonna
here with
relax.
salary, the support, all of that. It's well needed.
Here is the latest on school boards that say they will shut down in the event of job action. The Toronto District School Board, the Toronto Catholic District School Board, Durham District School Board, Durham Catholic District School Board, York Region District School Board, York Catholic District School Board, and the Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board. Meanwhile, the Peel District School Board will have students log in online and participate in asynchronous learning with teachers and support staff available remotely. Childcare, before and after school programs, and extracurriculars will be canceled. In a nutshell, this would mean kids from every school board in the GTA will be home Friday if there's a strike.
That's the part that's kind of nerve-wracking for me, that I don't have anyone to watch them on this Friday, but I mean, I have to find alternatives.
As the union and the province return to mediated talks, with last-minute discussions resuming Tuesday, parents say they just hope the two sides can reach a deal.
We'll make them study at home, but we hope somehow this strike is averted.
So it's a situation of watching and waiting while parents do what they can to make alternate childcare arrangements. Now, if an 11th hour deal is reached, we do not know if schools will open. The Toronto District School Board says it is working on a plan, while the Toronto Catholic District School Board tells us if an agreement is reached, it will send out an email to parents with instruction, and they'll also post an update online on its website and on Twitter. Meanwhile, the York Catholic District School Board says it will send out a message on Friday morning at 6 a.m. to parents and will also post information online. Reporting live, I'm Janice Golding. Now back to Michelle.
Thank you, Janice. And we have extensive coverage of this.
If we do hit online, guys, we will be. I will not be learning from home. Yeah, her holding another new software. We'll watch the new. Oh no. He's trying hard.
Countdown to a strike. Time is running out to reach a deal before tens of thousands of Ontario education workers say they'll walk off the job. Good afternoon. Negotiations continue, but neither side appears to be backing down.
Schools across the province are preparing to close, with families forced to make alternate plans. CTV's Queen's Park reporter Siobhan Morris joins us live with the latest. Siobhan?
Now, Pauline, the haze around what's going to happen in the hours ahead and tomorrow morning is as dense as the fog at Queen's Park is right now. Here, the debate is continuing and discussions are still on at a downtown hotel.
Yeah.
This time tomorrow, some 2 million Ontario kids could be logged on, learning from home instead of at school. 55,000 educational support workers represented by CUPE are ready to walk.
Without anything changing, we are on strike until further notice starting Friday unless a deal is reached.
Negotiators with the union and government are stationed at a downtown hotel,
Yeah.
ready to speak with a mediator.
My hope is in the coming hours, there could be some alternative outcome that allows stability for children.
We have made substantial moves across the board on all of our positions in order to try and achieve a deal.
But a counteroffer from CUPE has been rejected. The government forging ahead with a bill to impose a contract with a wage increase far below what the union has asked for. If union members walk anyway, CUPE faces daily fines of $500,000.
I hope common sense will prevail in this respect, that people will be law-abiding. I mean, if the bill passes this afternoon, it would be an illegal strike, and there are consequences for that type of action.
In question period, the opposition is challenging the premier on his public persona as defender of the little guy.
But the littlest people in this province will pay the biggest price if he keeps up his attack on education workers.
The government maintains it has kids' best interests at heart.
I've been very clear that we will do whatever it takes to keep Ontario's 2 million students in the class.
CUPE's plan is to picket outside PC MPP's offices as opposed to schools tomorrow, and they will have some company on the picket lines. OPSEU says it will support any of its 8,000 educational support workers who choose to join CUPE at the picket. Reporting live from Queen's Park, I'm Siobhan Morris. Nathan, back to you.
All right, thank you, Siobhan. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau weighed in on the debate. He spoke with Premier Doug Ford yesterday about his government's use of the notwithstanding clause. A statement from the Prime Minister's office reads in part, the Prime Minister emphasized the critical importance of standing up for Canadians' rights and freedoms, including workers' rights. He was clear that the preemptive use of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms notwithstanding clause is wrong and inappropriate and should only ever be used in the most exceptional of circumstances.
Meanwhile, Ford's office released a statement which reads in part, the Premier made clear that shutting down classrooms would have an unacceptable impact on students who are already struggling after 2 years of pandemic disruption. He also reiterated that Ontario is determined, if necessary, to pass legislation to keep classrooms open and ensure certainty and stability for parents and students now and in the future.
A strike would mean students across the GTA will be out of their classrooms tomorrow. Here's the latest on school boards that say they will shut down in the event of job action. The Toronto District School Board says it will close for the duration of a strike. The Toronto Catholic District School Board will close, but online learning will be offered. Durham District School Board, Durham Catholic District School Board, York Region District School Board, York Catholic District School Board, Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board, and the Peel District School Board will offer asynchronous learning with teachers available remotely. District School Board, Dufferin Peel Catholic District School Board, and the Peel District School Board will offer asynchronous learning with teachers available remotely. Many childcare centers connected to schools will be impacted. We've got much more online, including information on close news.
Authorities are on the scene of a...
I decided I've already made the choice off the board. Look. I've already made a choice off the board that I will be doing school work asynchronous, but is that I will be doing my work asynchronously, but only in the early morning, but mornings only. I will do some of my work. I'll try my best to do some work. I'll try my best to do. I'll try my best to do some work. It turns out they will only offer asynchronous learning, so meaning we will be home. Remote learning. I will not be learning virtually yet. Like, I agree. Making this very clear, guys. Like, I will not be learning from home. If I probably will. They said, continue doing your work. Now let's listen into this news conference, and I'll take you to the email. I'm actually going to take you guys to an email. I don't want to go for or never mind. Maybe I'll go for a website, actually. Oh. Here's a news update from the board. I will not. I don't know. And saying further to our update earlier this week, this was an email by the board. Further to our update earlier this week, the Canadian Union of Public Employees (CUPE) has once again indicated that they will strike effective Friday unless it is a agreement with Ontario today. If CUPE does withdraw services, all DESB schools will be closed for in-person learning starting on Friday to protect the health and safety of students. Please do not send your child to school. We will send you an update should anything change. Educators will be providing students with independent work to complete on Friday. This will be provided by your child's Google Classroom or other digital platform. There will be no live virtual classroom instruction on Friday. Should the job action extend beyond Friday, more information will be shared with families. Please note that CUPE staff play an important role answering phones, responding to family via email, and providing support at your child's school. No one will be answering the phone at the education center, in-person school, or at DESB. At home, your child's educator will still be available to respond to questions from parents about classroom learning. Attendance will not be completed for a person or virtual school. Students in grades 7 to 12 have been directed to ensure they take their technology home with them today. There will be no technology deployment for scheduled students in grade K6. There is unlimited availability of tech support, and there is no help desk to support Chromebook issues during this time. Students enrollment at DESB Home. All elementary and secondary schools currently learning through DESB at home will continue as normal. Educational assistance support will be unavailable. Child care programs for infants, toddlers, and preschool children who are currently enrolled may be open and operating under a modified hours from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Before and after school programs, early Ontario programs, after school recreation program, and early years grade beginning start of DESB programs will be closed. Please contact your child care provider for more information. Correspondent education. If students are participating in an education program, BIDAC is not located in a DESB building, they should continue to attend their placement. Community use of school permits. All community use of school permits will be canceled for the duration of the strike. All the Durham continuing education classes are canceled. The Academy for Student Athletics Development, ATAD, Center for Success, Durham College, and Canadian Community-based program will be running as usual, as they are not located in the DESB building. We will remain hopeful that an agreement can be reached soon. Should the situation change, we will provide you with an update. For the latest information, please continue to visit at DESB.com and following DESB School on Twitter. That was the email. We just read the lengthy email up to you guys. This is what the email we got from the school board. There will be no
kids in class. With that, I'll take your questions.
You underplayed your hand. I mean, really, you say you're going to keep kids in class, but many schools will be closed tomorrow. So you're not being effective. Have you miscalculated with this union?
CUPE has decided to proceed in a strike since Sunday. We brought forth legislation on Monday on the basis that we have to avert a strike. If
there's going to be a strike tomorrow.
There's going to be an illegal strike tomorrow if they proceed if they proceed with it, it will be illegal. And as I made clear, we will use every tool at our disposal to ensure there is not disruptions on children.
Used every tool. I mean, you've used the notwithstanding clause. You've backed them into a corner. They're still defying you.
If
what are you going to do now?
We've been very clear on our expectation. Kids should have been in the classroom tomorrow. They should be in class tomorrow. And we've now passed a law that sets out a requirement that these workers have to get back to work. And it is my hope and expectation they will show up tomorrow for our kids. And as I noted, and I was clear, we will use every tool available in the legislation to ensure kids are in school and disruption is mitigated for millions of children in Ontario.
What happened at the table today, and what were your good faith efforts?
The mediator decided to call off the discussions just in the last few minutes on the basis that we remain far apart. He's asked for confidence at that table. What I can tell you, though, is what the union did not take off
And apparently there will be
for
no
discussions
deal
was the
meeting.
fact that they intended to
Our
strike
live
tomorrow.
streams
In
will
fact,
be
potentially
based
strike
that they
tomorrow.
have offered
So-
asynchronous.
Is that what you're saying?
No, the media
we're
has
not-
called them
we
off,
may or
and
may
the
not
government is
do it,
intent
but
to
at
move
least I
forward with the
might
bill
do
because there's no other
some
alternatives. The
work
media has
so that
suggested that we remain too far
I
apart.
did
The government has
decide
been clear we're prepared to
I
negotiate
did
right at the
decide
last
to
minute to
do
avert
some
legislation.
work,
But
not all
unfortunately,
work,
they are
because
not
that's
taking
some.
strikes off the table.
Not all.
They literally will not commit to removing the threat
all,
of a strike.
Some.
And that is really unfair to so many children. I find it unacceptable
Unfortunately,
that
it is
millions of people
to do
and their parents have to
some
be
work.
home, that they're scrambling for childcare because of a difference
I think
on
the question
fundamentally on
is,
higher pay. And I think that's unfair for our kids. And that's why we are made clear on Monday why we're here. Because if we didn't get a deal today, we wouldn't have had legislation that has force with it and powers that try to get the schools back open for the kids we represent.
Minister, are you sure that the federal government won't reserve or disallow Bill 28?
Look, we've been very clear in our intention, using it in a very
Honestly,
granular surgical approach with
if the
QP
federal
specifically on the
government
basis that they
overturns the
have
law,
committed to a strike. On Sunday, they committed to a strike before there was any use of legislation or inclusion of that provision. They intended to do this 17 days ago when they put themselves on a footing required for a no board. They announced in the summer, before the government even brought forth our first proposal, that they were going to strike. They sought a strike mandate in August.
The federal government, the prime minister last night talked to the premier. He does not like what your government is doing. They have mechanisms that they could use to stop this. Are you sure they are not going to do that?
The premier made clear to the prime minister that we will do what is necessary to ensure kids are in school, that they've been through so much.
Honestly,
and the premier
the only
believes
way I would
that
be
our
able to
publicly
be in
funded
school,
schools should be
getting a
open
deal.
for children. They should
I
not be
think there's
disrupted
work,
because of a needless,
I
unacceptable
would do
strike.
rest is like
No choice, but what about
members?
We've been very clear
I would do
that we're
rest
going to
if
use
I know
every
what to do.
tool
I
at our
would do it.
disposal
So
to
I've
get
been
these
doing
schools
it,
open.
but I actually
And
some
you know,
work,
it's quite
not
sad that
all.
we're in a position that we have to move forward with legislation. We should have had a
Not
voluntary deal
all,
Sunday when
but
the
I will be
government
doing
moved
some
our offer
work,
up,
not all.
increased wages,
Not all,
maintained the
some.
benefits and the sick leave and the job
Some
security
work,
that most
and
folks in
I
this
will
economy
not be
could only
doing
dream of.
virtual.
But they said no, they intend to strike, and the government must
I
now move
think
forward with legislation
I'll
that
tend to do it
actually will
as
bring
on
some
my own
certainty,
schedule.
some
I'll do it
stability
early
to
in the
kids
morning.
who
I'll
have
do
been
it
through
first thing in
so
the
much.
morning, and then after that, I
Is
will.
that actually possible? Is that feasible to take 55,000 striking workers before the Ontario Labour Relations Board and fine them $4,000? I mean, is that actually feasible on behalf of the government?
We are going to use every tool available to keep our schools open. Yes, and that is the position of the government. We're going to use every tool in the legislation to keep schools open and to get staff to show up to help our kids. They need to be in school, and we will use every tool available to send a clear, unambiguous message. Schools should be open, and there's accountability for breaking the law.
If you take a step back, have you taken stock of the magnitude of what you're about to do here, to use the notwithstanding clause to end a school,
I would
school
never
strike,
end this.
or to impose a contract? I mean, this is going to have ramifications for years down the road, and you're essentially signaling to all of us, to all the people watching, that you don't care about Canadians' rights as they are guaranteed. in the
Honestly,
Canadian
we're
Charter of
very
Rights and
worried
Freedoms
that
of
if this
Citizenship
if this keeps
out of any other
happening,
country. So
All unions are now at risk.
I think, I'm very cognizant of the extraordinary difficulty the strikes
They
and
said
the
that they
pandemics
will
of
be
the past
offering
3 years have
asynchronous
had
learning.
on children in
However,
Ontario.
there will be
This is
live
not a
classes.
normal time in society. Kids are in a different place. This is not the 90s under the Ray government when there were local strikes, or the Harris government, or the McGuinty government when there were strikes there too. This is a different time. And I would argue most parents would accept the premise. This is an unprecedented challenge on children. And they're seeing the regression in their children's social, emotional, physical, and mental health. And on that basis, we feel strongly that we must do everything available to government to give a voice to children. You speak about those rights. I speak about the right of a child to have an ability to have an education, to be supported. I think about the rights of a child when it comes to access to breakfast programs. There are kids that are not going to eat part of our nutrition programs because they rely on schools as a safe place. The most vulnerable kids among us in all of our communities are the ones who will pay the price most disproportionately. And it is for them that the government is acting.
Are you going to use the notwithstanding clause again in the negotiations that you have ongoing with ETFO, OSSTF, and the other education unions?
We've been very clear. Our preference is to get a voluntary deal, and we're going to continue to work in good faith with our education unions, as I did 3 years ago when we got a deal with every single teacher union in the province of Ontario. I seek to do that again, a deal that is good for workers, but a deal that keeps kids in the classroom. Thank you all.
I do want to make a mention to everyone that since if we are going to be in school tomorrow, and if we are, I think the question is, we will not be in school tomorrow. There will be no in-person learning. So in fact, I think going forward, the question is, will I be going to school tomorrow? I will not be going to school tomorrow, and I think exactly, I'm actually going to show you guys this. I actually did receive this saying. Well, I did that receive something else too. I'll be right back. This is the daily lesson plan that we've had here. We have not read it to you guys yet, but here we go. For the duration of the strike, for the duration of the strike, students will be following the asynchronous model. As such, they will be expected to log in to the various programs used in So this is like a draft schedule, guys, and they said, please note that the above routine is meant to be a general guideline and are free to work with their own schedule. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to work on my own in my own time. I'm not going to be doing this. I am going to be doing, I'm not going to follow that schedule which was provided. I will be doing my own thing, my own schedule. I have my own rules and I will be doing them. I'll be doing it just like I did in 2021. I'm going to be doing them early in the mornings, two classes per day, and then I'll be probably logging on to my Google Classroom or logging into my Google Classroom and getting my journal done. So that's my expectation, guys, is that I'll likely be home tomorrow. Tomorrow, we will not be in the classroom. So, unfortunately, there will also be work provided by my upper teachers. So they are offering asynchronous work, and they said that there will be no disruption on Friday. Should the job accident send me on Friday, more information will be shared with families. Yeah, apparently some have decided that they will be doing asynchronous. Teachers have decided that they will not be doing virtual. So I'm gonna call stream here. I'll call it a stream for today. But I'll listen to tomorrow's public question period on day 1 of the strike. So hope everyone has a safe day. At least this one's going to be a shorter update, and I'm sure the update's going to be so short today. Apparently, they have every right in their power to go remotely. I would never. If I do, it would be only an last. It would be, or really. Here's what I would do. I would first go to the Education Relations Commission and see if the school year is in jeopardy, and then I would go to the Labor Relations, and then I would first go to the ERC and go to the Labor Board, and then maybe I would first I would turn to the Labor Relations Board to see if the strike is illegal, and then I would consider the ERC illegal. Or maybe I'll first go to the ERC, and then go to the Labor, and then the Labor Board. So I hope everyone's doing okay, and I'm gonna hop off now. A short stream today compared to the other days. I don't think that's another update. So pretty much all boards within the GPA have decided that they will be offering remote learning options for now. So hope everyone's okay, and check into you guys tomorrow. We're going to be updating every day from this point forward. So hope everyone's okay, and see you guys later. Bye! And just a reminder, it will be from here until for the duration of the strike, we will be updating every day. So there will be a different title on here tomorrow. So, all right. Bye-bye, everybody. See you tomorrow morning.